We're joined by head coach Chris Rusiewicz from Guilford football. And coach, let's jump in here and talk about your preseason, what you saw in spring practice last year after the fall season, taking in what you can from what you expect from your team from last year coming into this year.
Well, I think, we started out people have asked, how was your season, how did it go? And I tell them really simple, we had two seasons. We started out 4-0 and we're undefeated and finished with an 0-6 record. And so it's the tale of totally two different stories. Took us some time after about, I guess, week 6, we started to figure out kind of where we're at as a program. We knew we had some internal small things to fix and continue to fix, as well as big things. So we just kind of finished out the season as strong as we could. As soon as the season came to an end, the staff and leadership in our program sat down and really started to dig deep about where we were at and where we wanted to be and what it would take. And it's actually really interesting. And about a week after the season, when I was trying to figure out where things went wrong, I actually read an article by Coach K, who talked about, they asked him a question of how do you continue to sustain success. And one of the things he says, you don't ever sustain success, you continue to build culture. And I know that, when 2011, when we arrived here, that was one of the things we knew we had to do was continue to, build culture. And we did that every year. And last year, I think we just thought it was going to just maintain itself. And we learned a lot from that. So the entire offseason, the program, the kids, the staff, myself, really just dug deep and figured out, we got to go back to 2011 and rebuild this thing and get them refocused back to where we once were. And our guys really thrived with that. The young guys bought into it, and it was really a lot of fun going back to our roots and really starting to establish a new culture again. So now we feel we're back to where we were coming out of that 9-1 year. We're excited about it. The talent was not the issue. There was just a lot of internal things that we had to fix, and we definitely did it. So, obviously the time will tell with week 1 going against the top 25 team. We're really excited about that, and we'll kind of find out where we are here in the next couple of days when we report to camp.
Let's start with the offensive side of your ball, looking at some units. Last year, we knew you were going to need a new quarterback. We knew you were going to need a new lead receiver. We didn't know you were going to need a new lead running back with Derek Bell going down. But then you had another guy, in Hunter Causey, stepping up for you. Talk a little bit about what you expect from your offense this season, and maybe who's going to surprise this year and become a new name.
Well, obviously Karsten Miller came in as a transfer. We expected him to be a strong arm. But he sat out a year of football, and I think that took his toll. And now that he's got a year under his belt, an entire spring season, has obviously put himself in a position to be our starter for this coming year. We expect big things out of him. And we had a young receiver step up who will be a sophomore for us, and Tyreek Russell had an amazing offseason. Actually put on some weight, got faster and stronger, and we're really excited about where he's at. And then but majority of our receiving core is all back. You got Rontavious Miller coming back, and Hezekiah coming back, and we got 2 other young guys coming in this year that we expect some big things out of as well that are transfers that we think are going to step. Our receiving core is very strong and deep across the board. Monte Johnson stepping up now will be finally a junior as a 6'2" target, and so we're really excited about that. Obviously having a 2-headed monster in the backfield with Hunter Causey as a 1,000-yard back in 7 games, filling in for Derek really well. And Derek coming back, and his doctors are saying he's 100%. He's currently cleaning. I think he cleaned around 365 in the spring. Was one of the strongest players in the program, lower body in terms of squat. So what a remarkable comeback it will be. And obviously we'll see how he really recovers here in the next couple of days, which will be good. But you got those 2. We have another young gentleman by the name of Eric Brandon who's be a sophomore, who's going to step up for us. And we got about 4 freshmen coming in that we expect to continue to give us depth back there, and that'll be really exciting for us. Another gentleman by the name of Evan Carnes will be a tight end for us that we plan to use. We finally have one that we think can step up and be a player for us in a traditional offense and help us there. And then, of course, our offensive line is going to be probably not as big as we've been in the past, but definitely more athletic than we've ever been. With the obviously first-team all-conference, Ty Schwalm moving from right to left. We got another left guard coming back, and of course, our center's coming back. So, we're really excited about our offense. We're hoping to put up big numbers this year, which will put a little less pressure on our defense this year.
You've been able to be multiple on your offense in years past, and that's something you've also been able to do defensively, whether it's 5-6 defensive backs, sometimes go down to 1-2 linebackers and whatnot. Let's talk about that defensive unit. What do you see out of that side of the ball for you this season?
Well, not as much maybe game experience there, but a lot of veteran experience. Our entire secondary, all 5 guys that are going to be projected to start for us are all going to be seniors, and that's the first time we've ever had that. So, they may not all have the same game. Julian Cuthbertson, our free safety last year, was actually starting last year by default because our starting free safety got hurt 3 days into camp, and became a second-team all-conference performer for us and was our defensive MVP. So to see that type of effort and that type of leadership step up was great, and we anticipate those other 4 guys that are going to surround him. With Demetrius Jones, who started a few games for us last year at corner. We have a 5th-year senior coming back who played receiver. C.J. Hobbs, who was a sophomore, had I think around 40 receptions for us, who's a 6'3" corner who will be playing corner for us this year. So, I mean, we just have a lot of experience back there with a veteran group. Linebacker core is going to be young, as they usually always are, because they always transition to different positions and do different things because they're so athletic. But we're excited about Trayvon Simmons moving from strong safety, who started the season for us there. We put on about 15 pounds. We're moving him down to linebacker. Nathan Campbell, who's a returning starter, will fulfill Hunter Hooch's shoes at Mike. So, you know, we think we have some good experience there. So it's just going to come down to exactly where their skill set is, which we'll determine here by the end of camp. Defensive line is going to be as deep as it's ever been. You know, obviously we're going to have C.J. Nash, who will be a captain, come back, who was one of the most gifted players I've seen play in a long time. He's just not very big, and I think that's held him back from a lot of opportunities coming out of high school, but ultimately will be a really big force. And Jordan Johnson will be a senior for us, who's played since his freshman year, and you know, we always do a lot of rotation, so we're excited about him. And Darius Patterson, who's been playing since he's a freshman, will be a junior for us. So I think we have a lot of experience. We're going to be a veteran-led group. It's just going to be very interesting to see how they all come together, because they haven't maybe played as many snaps as some of the guys in the past have.
When we take a look at the league, a little bit different look this year. No Catholic this season, but Ferrum is going to come right in 2018 and turn us back from a 17 conference to an 8-team league. Talk a little bit about what you see from the league this year, maybe where Guilford fits into it this season, and then what your thoughts are on in the future with it going back to 8 teams with Ferrum coming in 2018.
Well, I think it's, you know, every coach is going to say the same thing about how it's just so competitive. And it is, and it's such a fun league to play in, or coach in for me, but even for our kids to play in. You know, I think Catholic was always for us, you know, it's an up and down, you know, no matter who was up, who was down, we always played close games. So, you know, that's going to be and the trip, and we always liked going to D.C. every other year. But, you know, I think Ferrum coming in is going to, you know, we scrimmage them every year in the preseason, so, you know, we're somewhat familiar with them. And I think Coach Grandy's done a nice job up there, obviously having ODAC experiences at E&H, and bringing that, you know, and understanding the ODAC. So I think it's going to be a nice addition to the league. In terms of the upcoming season, obviously, you know, only playing 6 league games. Good thing for us is we play 4 out of our 6 at home, you know, so we're pretty excited about that. But I think, you know, it's just one of those things where we're hoping we can pick off the 2015 season and kind of disregard and let go of the 2016 season and see where we can go.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today, and good luck this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.